You feel tired all the time. The energy you used to have is gone. The drive that used to push you forward feels cold, and you are left wondering what happened to you. But look around. The answer isn't inside you. It's standing right next to you. There was once a young monk named Ren who arrived at his monastery full of heat. He wanted to learn everything. He asked questions before the others even woke up, and he stayed in the study room long after the lamps were turned low. But the monks around him were older, and they had slowed down. When Ren talked about what he wanted to learn, they just smiled. When he asked them to study with him, they told him maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. A person's ambition doesn't exist in a vacuum. The moment it meets the open air, it immediately hits the friction and resistance of the people sharing that space. Over his first year, Ren kept his pace completely alone. But no one pushed back against his ideas. No one pulled him forward. By the second year, the isolation took its toll. He stopped rising before the others. The questions that used to burn in his chest faded one by one. In the third year, Ren was exactly the same as the monks around him. Quiet, smooth, empty. Placed in a stagnant room, his intense energy had been entirely absorbed by his surroundings. Without an environment to feed it, even the strongest internal fire eventually runs out of oxygen and goes dark. One cold evening, the old master asked Ren to sit with him near the fire pit. The fire was burning well. 7 or 8 coals sat clustered together, glowing a deep orange and red. The heat radiating from them was intense enough to warm their faces. The master picked up a pair of iron tongs. He pulled one glowing coal out of the center of the pit and set it on the stone ground, far away from the others. It glowed bright for a few seconds. Then it started to fade. The orange turned dark. The edges went gray. In less than a minute, the coal was black, cold, dead. The master picked it up and placed it right back in the fire. Within seconds, the heat from the group reached it. The color returned and the coal was alive again. A single coal cannot keep itself burning. Its life, its heat, and its glow are entirely dependent on the collective heat of the coals around it. The master asked Ren when he last felt on fire. Ren admitted it was his first year. Like the isolated coal, he had been pulled away from the heat and slowly went cold. Ren thought nothing had changed. He assumed he just got tired. But the coal didn't get tired. It didn't choose to go dark. It went dark because it was separated from its source. A person holds fire, but they do not generate it endlessly out of thin air. Holding is very different from making. To stay hot, you require proximity to others who are also burning. During his first year, Ren had fire, but the older monks had none. They were cold coals. Over time, his heat moved outward into the room, and nothing came back. He was a hot coal resting on cold stone, and cold stone takes heat without giving it back. Burnout is rarely a failure of your own resilience. Often it is a symptom of sitting in a one-way environment that extracts your energy without replenishing a single drop. The master told Ren it was not his fault. You cannot blame an ember for going dark when it is placed alone in the cold. One day you wake up and the heat is gone, and you think you broke. But Ren wasn't broken. His internal fire was never destroyed. It was simply forced into a dormant state, waiting. The coal that came back to life in the pit didn't need a brand new flame to start over. It just needed to be relocated near the right heat. You cannot always control how a stagnant room drains you, but you possess the ultimate choice in deciding where you place yourself and which fire you sit in. Ren sat by the fire for a long time that night. By the next morning, he had made his decision. He gathered his things and walked away from the quiet wing of the older monks. He asked to join the younger monks on the east side of the monastery. They were loud, they were messy, they argued aggressively about the texts and asked the hardest questions. Ren had avoided them before because of that mess, but as he integrated into their group, they pushed back on his ideas. They challenged him. They were on fire, and for the first time in 3 years, he finally received the reciprocal energy he needed to survive. Look at the people around you right now. Are they feeding your fire, or are they letting it die? Audit your circle. Actively seek out the communities that keep your ember alive. And if this story reached you today, leave a like and share it with someone whose fire is going cold.